So it's Ira with Michael Franti. Thanks so much for taking the time, man. Really, really appreciate
Thanks,
it. Wanted to ask you about your new record because you're a music sensation now. I mean, you're a pop
Yeah,
icon.
imagine that.
Did you ever think? I mean, 20 years ago when you were making the records you were making,
Yeah.
I don't think you thought you'd have a number one hit single at pop
No,
radio.
no, I never would have imagined it. And even when we made this record, I didn't imagine it because the song "Say Hey." I wrote it and I was like, oh, this is a really good song. But the guy who we were working with at the time producing the record was kind of, I don't really hear it, And then we went and started working with Sly and Robbie, and they were like, oh, that's a hit song, man. Let's put this rhythm track to it. And so then the song came out in September of 2008, and it kind of had a short run at radio. And then the following summer in 2009, it just like when we were done touring, basically,
Right.
it took off. And so in the middle of it, we had to just get back out on the road and follow. And we've been touring really ever since with just off the back of that one song.
And your appendix ruptured sometime in August of that year,
Yeah.
right? When the record's picking up momentum,
Yeah.
right? Like,
Yeah.
how
Like
did you
I was
go-
in the hospital
Yeah.
on the gurney going into surgery, and I get this text, your song's in the top 20. And I'm like, I'm thinking I'm on drugs.
Right.
I look at the doctor and I'm like, hey doc, I got a song in the top 20 for the first time ever. My first song on the radio, and you better let me live to hear it. But it really put things in perspective having it all happen at the same time, because when you have anything it's like life threatening, health wise,
Yeah.
it shifts your priorities, and it just reminded me that I make music because I love to make music, and I was still playing guitar in the hospital, and my friends, my family, my son came to be with me there, and it was just really, a good reminder that hit songs are not everything.
Your music's always been about a certain level of social consciousness, and you've certainly been about a even higher degree of social consciousness, whether it's your political action or the fact that you're a vegan, and all of those sorts of things. But this new record's really about love and sun, and I guess that comes out of the emotions that you were just talking about in the hospital, right?
Yeah, it's this record is really about optimism and looking towards whatever makes us feel that sensation of sun. When you wake up in the morning, you see that it's sunny, you feel like, wow, it's going to be a good day. And if it's not, sometimes you go, oh man, I'm going to go back to sleep, call the boss, I'll be there an hour late today. But music does that for us. It's like the thing when we feel a little bit down, and we flip through the iPod player, or you take out a CD or even a record. I have a record player in my house. And just like sometimes just the anticipation of, oh, I know this song will make me feel better. And it comes on, and you go, okay, now I can deal, And that's what I wanted this record to be for people, And so we went, as we were writing the record, we were doing it on tour. We were out with John Mayer for 2.5 months this winter and spring. And every night we'd play the songs on stage, and then we'd go back into our dressing room, and we'd have a little portable studio set up, and we would tinker with the songs and just go, it needs to be a little faster, or this one needs a different chord change in the bridge or something.
Right.
And so really the audience that we were playing the music for had a great hand in making what eventually became the whole record.
They even named sort of one of the songs, right? Hey,
Yeah.
Hey, Hey is a song that you had
Yeah.
a different title for originally, and then I guess based on audience reaction and voting on your fan
On
page.
our Facebook, yeah.
Yeah.
It was funny because we had this hit, Say Hey, and then this other song has, in the chorus, that has the words, hey, hey, hey. And it's a different chorus, but it was too wordy, and so I was like, I just put something up online. I was like, well, what should we call the song? And people voted for Hey, 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 and so that was
How
it.
active are you online yourself personally? Not your handlers and the people around Michael Franti and Spearhead, but how active are you online?
I'm very active. I'm on Facebook mostly. I Twitter as well. But Facebook is really the place where we put the most content up, because Twitter's fantastic for just a quick thought, right. But we do a vlog every day. Here's Ben, our videographer over here, who's shooting right now. We have a thing called Fran TV, and so we put up a 5 or 6 minute clip every day that's just about what our life is like on the road, and you're going to be in it, all right? And so It's a great way for people to follow the tour who, you know, wish they could be out on the tour but
Right.
can't, or saw the show and want more, or are anticipating the show coming up. And it's also a place where I announce if we're going to do like an acoustic set before the show, because we do that a lot before we play. We'll just put up, you know, at 4:30 in front of the venue. We're going to be out there with our guitars.
Wow.
Come on down, and people come out. And then also, it's a great way for people to write to us and tell us what they're thinking, what they're feeling, and, you know, what they want. Do they want a certain song to be played, or something when we come to their town? And so I'm really grateful. I think that a lot of artists missed the boat with the internet because they were so stuck on this thing of like CD sales are the only thing,
Right.
and it's killing us. And I was the opposite, because at the time we didn't sell any CDs.
Right.
So it was like, oh my God, people are going to hear our music. Wow, that's
Right.
amazing. And
Yeah.
to me, it didn't matter if you got it for free or however, you know. And so it worked to our advantage to be a band that became, you know, internet savvy.
Imagine if those tools were available 20 years ago when you were starting your message of, you know, the revolution will not be televised and all of those sorts of things. I mean, imagine what kind of uprising we could have had then.
Yeah.
Maybe George Bush would have never been president. I mean, do you think that this record, the material could have been written 5 years ago?
Well, I think I was a different person 5 years ago, and what I mean, and musically, first of all, I really wasn't playing much guitar then,
Right.
so now I'm playing and writing the songs from the guitar. But also, you know, in the last, 7-8 years, I've done a lot of traveling around the world and seen how music affects people, you know, and especially playing music on the street, and you know, I went to Iraq and played in Iraq. I've been to, you know, Israel and Gaza and all over the West Bank, and been to areas where people are in conflict, and you play music and you see how it brings people together to have a dialogue, or just to smile and laugh and dance. And before, I made music that was really angry. It was really like, you know, the world is messed up and I'm pissed off about it. And now I'm kind of like, you know, the world is messed up, and if I can offer somebody a song that makes them feel better today, man, that's a virtuous act, you know. And, you know, in terms of political change, you know, it's like there's so much upheaval in the world today, and I'm somebody who is against political violence of all types. And so my way of counteracting that is to make music to show a different way.